first, the Constitution does not envisage issues. The Constitution envisages that you put a question in form of a bill, because it will decide. If you put that question and it is popular, you can just take it to Parliament.
Isn't that why Kanini Kega moved to court, because it's not clear what comes first?
Yes. So if you let me just explain. If it is so popular, you take it to Parliament, they say hallelujah, then it doesn't have to go through all that. You don't have to spend that money. But the key element is you have to put it and say, this is the question. Then you read it and say, yeah, I agree with this one. Let it go to the referendum, or let's go to the House. You do not craft your own issues, okay? You call them issues, then you put false caps, then it goes around. That is putting the cart before the horse. But anyway, that is now an issue that will be decided by the court. Let's leave it. It's not a Jubilee court case. It's an individual like me questioning. Secondly, the referendum itself, assuming it goes through, assuming you put the minimum at 45%,
yes,
automatically the taxes will have to go up, because you have to finance the national government. Or we opt then to dissolve the national government and go 47 counties. You have to have enough money to run, to give the 45% minimum, and then to run the national. What does it mean? The government has no other money other than taxation. So Kenyans must be prepared to pay more and more if that referendum goes through. Then I think now in the political posturing, everybody is trying to find who do we talk to. Let's talk to the MCAs. When you talk to the MCAs, they say, okay, before we give you our support, we'll have to give our spouses loneliness allowance. And then the governors are also saying, our wives are our wives need offices, because there's no female governor. Our wives also need this is all posturing, because there's a dire situation. And they know, let's say the Jubilee government needs support. And this support, the desperation is because you will either have to go down or raise taxes. Either way, it is a poisoned chalice, both sides. And that is what court knows. Go and raise the minimum to 45%. They'll either not have to operate or tax people more. Either way, they will be too unpopular that come 2017, we defeat them.
So either way you see it, the taxes will go up. Senator, the issues that are outlined on this form where the signatures have been collected, in the event that the questions, if we get to that, to the referendum, are different, what happens? Because then people will have appended their signatures on different issues than those that will be on referendum.
You see, there is what you call, if you read the Constitution on matters on how to change the Constitution through popular initiative, it can be a specific bill or a specific question. But it also gives you an idea about a general suggestion. So code is using that issue about a general suggestion, and therefore then, after putting together those general suggestions, then you task the relevant bodies, be the IBC, to craft the bill that responds to those general suggestions. So I think I think
IBC is going to be crafting the bill.
I think in concurrence. It doesn't specify who crafts that bill in the Constitution, but I think in time that's why people said we need a referendum law to articulate. But my general view will be, once you present the 4 questions in terms of general suggestions to the IBC in terms of electoral reforms, in terms of the minimum and everything else, then there will be a responsibility on the part of that institution to at least craft questions that or a bill that then is able to respond to the legal requirements under the Constitution in terms of how we process legal bills or actual amendments. So I think that is my general view. I think secondly, there is fear mongering. We're not saying there is nobody who needs to raise any taxes anyway. I think what we're saying is there are many functions that have moved to the counties. So the resources must follow the functions. That's the simple principle that we are saying. You cannot almost devolve almost 50% of the functions: healthcare, water, sanitation, all these other issues. And then almost 50% of service delivery, those are service-oriented kind of functions. Now, used to be handled by the national government as they then were. And then you allocate them 16 or 19% of the revenue. So you need to up that so that resources follow the functions. Unless the national government wants to be thrifty in terms of the resources, they still need to do these big corrupt deals. Outside that, you don't need to raise any taxes. You need to just rationalize government. You need to rationalize staffing. You need to clarify the provincial administration. You don't need to retain an entire structure.